Welcome everyone to the Dawg House. This is the fifth episode.
Something like that.
This is the fifth episode, and we're on a bit of a high right now.
We're on a high.
And the reason for this high is essentially we're already better than the Simple Men.
I didn't want to say it. I'm glad he did.
So
does that mean, I don't know if that means we're just simpler men or extraordinary men? Which one is it?
I like extraordinary. That sounds better. So this episode is the first episode that we're recording while our first episode has been posted, right? Yep. We kind of like, this is going to be posted like pretty much a month from now. We're having some adding some to the bank, some podcast to the bank, because we'll be traveling soon, so we don't know when we'll have time to film more podcasts. So better safe than sorry, we'll have some podcasts in the bank, so you guys aren't missing out on any weekend, missing out of joining the Dawg House.
Dawg House.
Yeah,
we don't want you to miss out.
So we got a good first response from our first podcast.
Yes, we did. About that 8,000 views.
8,000 views in about just over 24 hours.
About a day, yeah. Because of y'all.
Because of y'all, yeah. Thank you guys.
Because of y'all.
We really appreciate the support. We appreciate our sponsors. We appreciate all you bastards at home commenting and stuff. Thank you. Thank you. It's truly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Goes a long way. So I guess we talked about the views. Mm-hmm. The subscriber count is going up as well. That's good.
That went up quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was at what, like maybe 200 a day or two ago?
Yeah.
Now it's like 800?
Fuck yeah. That's good. Oh, really?
You weren't able to monetize because you had under 500.
Oh, wow. You hear that, guys? More money.
Let's go.
No.
Now we can afford what is it? The Apple. now we can eat. The streaming things. So
that was a comment that was brought up.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, I got a few of those, I think.
Yeah, quite a few comments. I've had people DM me as well, asking if it was on Spotify. Spotify was beating Apple Podcasts. I had more people asking about if it's on Spotify, which, if I'm not mistaken, Spotify, you can also have footage of the podcast as well, right? Like, it can be just like this, like YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of comments asking, can it be on Spotify? So like you said, maybe this extra monetization money could go toward, we have to create some sort of subscription, like Buzzsprout, something like that.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, by now, I mean, by the time you guys are viewing this, hopefully we'll be in some sort of subscription service where we will have our stuff posted on Spotify and Apple.
Yeah.
What else do we have to touch on with this? I guess the comments.
I mean, at some point we're probably going to read some of y'all's comments, because they were really good comments.
Yeah.
Had some like funny comments, some in-depth comments. There are some comments saying like how much just the first episode really helped y'all, like about the mindset stuff we were talking about. I had some people reach out and DM me telling like, hey, like we really like the mindset part, and it was helping people. So I like to hear that.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, good first.
The thumbnail too. People like the thumbnail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is kind of your idea. You changed it up last second.
Yeah,
you were like,
second. Yeah.
You were like,
oh yes, yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, so we made some mistakes on the first few podcasts.
We made mistakes.
We took photos for like maybe one or two, but we missed some. So this time we're going to take a bunch of photos and like use them for the previous episodes. So that's why we're going to look exactly the same for the next few thumbnails. But
when you sent me the thumbnail, I was like, the one we used, I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like this is perfect. Yes. Like these photos. I didn't even consider using those as a thumbnail. Like I didn't even think about that until you sent. I was like, oh, this is sick.
Good stuff. I've been thinking we have to do another photo shoot.
Okay, yeah, I want to say what I was going to say when I told Jim to roll the cameras.
Oh yeah.
Ever since you told me that idea, this is a little insight to the future, guys. When you mentioned us doing some sort of video with like horses.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
I've have so many ideas.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go into, dude. That was like, oh, that would be perfect.
I think we should at least do a photo shoot.
Yes.
Because we have we have a horse. We have a photographer. We'll have to pay, but photographer. All we need is I have a cowboy hat and boots. All we need is a pair of jeans and cut them to Daisy Dukes.
When you said you have a horse, I know everyone right now just like, wait, Jay has a horse.
I don't have a horse.
It's a donkey in your neighborhood. That's what it is.
We actually do have a donkey. Like the neighbor has a donkey. You'll hear him in the distance.
We should use the donkey.
But yeah, I have a lot of photo ideas of just like fucking super gay stuff. Super gay stuff.
But
yeah. Honestly, the photos that we took, it was awkward stuff, but it wasn't necessarily gay.
It was professional.
It was professional. I don't think
professional. We got them professionally done. Just
exactly. Yep. We went to JCPenney and everything.
We didn't enjoy that whatsoever.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, I was super uncomfortable. What else? We have 8,000 views.
Yeah, dude.
800 subscribers.
You can say that again and again and again. You can keep saying that.
I'm not gonna get tired of that.
Guys, let's make it a thing where like let's try and like beat it every time. Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, that would be good.
I never had this goal until now. This may be unrealistic, guys, but this kind of falls more in y'all's hands than mine.
Do you want to sell 2,000 JitzBitz and buy a Ford Mustang?
Close.
Okay.
Yes. No, I was like, I don't know if a podcast would get this many subscribers, but I was like, I kind of want a YouTube plaque.
Oh, YouTube plaque.
I want a YouTube plaque. Like I don't know.
What's the first plaque at?
I want to say 100,000.
100, yeah.
That's a lot.
That's realistic, I think.
I think it's realistic over a course of time, but I want it tomorrow. So
I want it right now.
Right now. Guys, wouldn't this be so much a cooler podcast if we this right here, YouTube plaque. And Jim had a great idea about having like a Beware of Dog sign.
Yes. I need to go to Home Depot.
Upgrades coming in the future.
Yeah, upgrades to be made. Fuck, what were we talking about before? The Ford Mustang.
Oh, the horses.
Oh, yes.
Donkey.
Yes, the horses. Yeah, donkey.
Someone commented about us rotating our chairs the whole time.
Oh, yes.
Someone's like, oh, like that's the ADHD like showing. Yeah. It's like, you're right. Like, it's just comfy too, dude.
Well, even... So initially, I was thinking our first issue is when you search up the Doghouse on YouTube, some other YouTube comes up with like the Doghouse podcast where we're called just the Doghouse. These guys are at the Doghouse podcast and they have like over 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, damn, this is like competition. It might be bad to like even have the Doghouse like name as a channel name, but our first post is doing 8 times better than all of their posts.
Really?
Yeah, all their videos get like 1,000 to 2,000 views.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Where
I hope y'all heard that.
We get 8,000. So that's a good start. It's a good start. Yeah.
Yes. Once we get, it's all going to be based off performance, right? If people are really liking what we're talking about, then hopefully when you search that up, like the Doghouse, ours should start popping up first. Yeah. But we'll see, We'll get it when we earn it.
Yeah, so essentially that we're not even worried about the other Doghouse. Now our main competition is the Simple Men. We got some ground to cover, but hopefully, thanks to you guys, we'll be rapidly on their tail.
On their tail.
No
pun intended. We're the only ones with the tails.
I'm looking over some of the comments now.
I wish there was more comments making fun of you, but there wasn't.
There's not much to make fun of,
which made me a little upset.
The goal is like half of the stuff I say on social media, like that I point out making fun of myself, is because I'm self-aware.
Yeah,
and I'm getting to it before all of you guys.
That's a good point.
Right? I'm making fun of myself before you can.
I saw a comment. I was like, someone literally put a timestamp. They're like, at 5:02, is it me or did Jay's hands look ginormous? I was like, I just did have some bear paws.
I do have some big hands.
That's work right there.
I get this a lot, yeah.
Reminds me of that meme. It's like 85 fucking hours a day. I'm on my job. That's Jay in the jiu-jitsu room.
Yeah, big paws. Oh, I went to. So someone else said we should get like when you go to your grandma's house and she has like ceramic dogs.
What is that,
bro? You don't know what that is?
Wait, like the ceramic, like glass looking.
Like pretty much. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
And I went to a vintage store today.
I saw you. Did you get it?
Yeah, I did not buy it. I did not buy it. You texted me after I had already left, but I was thinking about doing it. Maybe I'll go back. It's in a hidden spot.
A hidden spot.
It's like super random. So essentially, I went to a vintage store, and I was looking for like ceramic like dog stuff as well as jeans to cut to Daisy Dukes for our photo shoot. But we'll leave that on a different page. I came across one dog. It was like a lab, just like the head of a lab, and it had like a duck in its mouth, like a hunting dog. And it was $50. I was very, very tempted to buy it. We could have it like right here or something, but
just hold it the whole time.
I just fuck yeah. I was close to buying it.
I saw comments already bringing up merch as well. Like I saw some people asking.
The thing with merch, like we're gonna get people asking for merch at no matter how big we are. Yeah. But I do want to have some sort of momentum going first before
it's got to be a big demand.
Yes.
It's got to be a big demand for you to commit to that.
Because it's like, it's how worth it can it really be to like have a bunch like. I feel like I find more value in like scarcity and like making one like drop. Say we sell like we get like 200 like just for example t-shirts. We get 200 t-shirts and like we do one drop and they sell it in like a day. And I feel like I found more value in that instead of making a million things and making a bunch of money off of it. Like like how Love of Black does. Like I feel like they do really good because people
make it unique. If people have it, they feel unique.
Yes, they're like I have this. Not
you don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
I like that.
I saw some like two people call the podcast TDH.
What is this?
The Doghouse.
Oh.
And I was like, that's kind of catchy. TDH.
Interesting.
I was like, that could be on a shirt or something. I was like, I like that. I forget who commented it, but if you're listening, I'm sure you know I'm talking about you.
Interesting.
But he's like TDH, and I was like, I swear to God, I was like, what's TDH? And my girlfriend was like, the Doghouse, and I was like, oh, I like that.
I like that.
That's cool.
These people know. We don't even know.
They know more about our shit than we do.
Fuck it out. What else is there to go over today? I
mean, I have some stuff I want to get into.
We have some about mental stuff or casual?
Both.
Okay, for casual, should we tell them what happened? What we did?
What do we do? Wait. No,
I think we have to.
You're right, because there's a lot of comments talking about that.
I'm getting a lot.
There's a lot of people asking for the stream. Yes. Guys, we have good news.
We have good news and bad news, yes. Kind of. Okay. So the good news is we slayed the fucking Ender Dragon.
Woo!
We did it. We did it.
Yes, sir.
We killed him. We did it in our world. No cheats. We got all our shit. We did. We got all our shit. We got our diamond armor. Went in there with our diamond swords. Killed him. The ending credits were like,
bro,
that was like some
Jim,
crazy.
Have you ever beaten Minecraft before?
No.
Dude.
Bro, if you ever beat an Ender Dragon, the credits will literally make you question life itself.
Yes.
It's crazy. Yes. It's a poem. I looked it up. It's a real poem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it associated with like some sort of religion?
No. I think really? It's poem. It's a poem, but I think like the producers of Minecraft like made the poem.
Oh, wow.
They said it was a poem. Because I like went back and read it because I missed a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, this is like super deep.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to send that to me because
that's another proof. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
That is proof that is not a child's game.
Yeah.
No child is reading that poem being like, yes,
exactly.
I understand.
I couldn't even read it that quick.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
It was...
I'm just looking at it like...
I would read one sentence and be like...
Yeah, miss all paragraph.
All paragraph, yeah.
We both went silent, too. Because you jumped into the portal after it, and you're like, bro, jump in there. I'm like, what? I'm like... Take my headset off. I'm like... Interesting.
Yes,
this is good. It felt fulfilling, dude. I was a little sad afterwards. I swear to God, Jay, I sat there and looked at... I was literally sending him Snapchats.
Yeah.
Of like me just staring at the main menu music. Just like staring at it for like, wow, like...
We did it.
We did it. That was a good time.
We did it. That was a good time.
It was a good time.
There were some rough patches where we were just like... kind of feeling hopeless in the nether and stuff, especially.
Hopeless in the nether.
Dude, I spent so much time in there. But I think so we did that on like the standard difficulty or whatever. So maybe for you guys, maybe one day we'll end up streaming or doing a podcast where we kind of go into creative and get all the stuff that we already have or like did get in our previous stuff, go to the portal and just going with diamond armor, just all the stuff we had. Naturally attainable stuff, and then switch the difficulty to switch to survival, obviously, and then switch to the difficulty to like hard,
or try and beat the Ender Dragon on hard.
Yeah, so hard for you guys.
We give y'all literally a tour of our cribs too.
Yeah, that would be.
We could trum around the world.
We could. Yeah,
pretty cool world.
Yeah, when we killed them, and we went back to our house, I was like, now what?
Yeah, I was like,
that's it. That's it.
I don't have to do anymore. I was like,
I kind of wanted to like go like just look over all the stuff we kind of went through.
Yeah,
fucking
it was cool.
The 3 houses.
When you put that little like last little hut you made by the Ender Dragon portal,
yes, yeah,
and it said end game.
End game.
I was like, man, there's like years from now, I'm gonna log into my Minecraft account with my children. I'm like going that. I'm like, it's gonna be like moss grown over top of the end game, like. What's that about, Dad? I'm like,
you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I think I'll keep that to myself.
It's a long time ago.
But
it's better you don't know.
Better you don't know. Yeah.
But yeah. Good time. Good
times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Do we? I guess we can also talk about kind of lead into snack time for a second. So we have some traveling coming up. That's why I mentioned before we have some videos in the bank. I will be going to Hawaii for like a week or so, and you'll be going where? Home. Back to Virginia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after Virginia, you're going to Qatar.
Possibly Qatar.
I don't know if I'm going.
We are going to. Jay, don't you say this to me.
I would love to go, but I think Nicky Ryan might be going.
Really?
Possibly, yeah. Because he teaches the what's his name? I believe his name is Salman.
Yeah, I don't even try mentioning people's names.
Fair.
Butcher people's names.
Yeah. But I think he requested Nicky Ryan, which is fair. Nicky Ryan's a great coach, great teacher. So it might be you two.
Me and Nicky.
Possibly, yeah. But I would love to go if you do end up going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be in Hawaii. I'm gonna be doing 3 seminars. I'll be doing a couple seminars with Exodus Jiu-Jitsu, Colossal Jiu-Jitsu, and High Grade Jiu-Jitsu.
You know what part of Hawaii you're going to?
I think I have 2 seminars on. I think it's all on the Big Island. But the way they talk about it, I don't know if I mentioned this before on
the Big Island
on the podcast, but they talk about like other parts of the island, like. So I'll be in Kona for the 2 seminars, and then the other seminar is like a 45-minute drive, and it's like I think it's called. It might be called Colosa. I might be wrong, but it might be called Colosa. And the people on the island, they talk about it like it's a complete, like it's so far that it's not even like part of the island. But I like asked, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you could drive it, but it's far. It was like 45 minutes," and I was like, "What 45 minutes?"
Yeah,
I used to drive like
I'll run that.
Literally, I used to drive like an hour and 15 minutes every day to go training to when I first started jiu-jitsu. Yeah. It was like, that was light work.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes, teach a seminar, make some money. But
Hawaii too. That's
Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so nice. I've never been to Hawaii. I want to go so bad.
Yeah. It should be fun. I'll be doing, I'll be spending some time with the people. I'll be I guess like the owners of the gyms.
Just you by yourself?
Yeah, I'm going alone, lone soldier.
Lone soldier.
1-man army. I'm going to go surf, I believe.
Ooh.
And then we're going to go spear fishing.
What?
And we're going to take the fish that we catch and fucking cook it on the beach.
Fuck, that is sick.
That's on the bucket list.
That's goals.
I'm very, very excited about that. fuck the money. I'm going to Hawaii to cook my own fish on the beach.
Yeah.
my own fish I catch on the beach. Yeah, I'm excited for that. It'll be good. And then, do you have anything else aside from Qatar?
Aside from if I go to Qatar, I haven't even gotten a date on that yet. I'm still waiting on that. I feel it might be like last second kind of deal. But other than Qatar, no. I think after Qatar, my next big trip will probably just be Las Vegas for trials.
Okay.
And probably some local traveling for tournaments.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah,
it's coming up quick. Got to get ready for that. I was talking to Nicky Rod about this. It's kind of like we were actually talking about you and how we would do in trials and stuff, and how certain people we felt would like do well. And honestly, like especially after seeing Nicky Rod and like Dorian win trials, it's like you don't necessarily have to be good at jiu-jitsu to win trials. There's a formula. It's like strategy. You might not like win like dominantly to a point where you're like subbing everyone, but you can still win. For sure. You can still win. You can outdog a lot of people.
You can.
And kind of maybe not get away because you're winning. You know, you're beating them, and that's just how the game can be played.
Yeah.
So it's really about strategy, and we ended up talking about how, like you can win without jiu-jitsu, and training for jiu-jitsu, training to get better at jiu-jitsu can sometimes kind of hinder your performance. Yeah. Because it's like you see how Dorian trains. Dorian trains like. He trains the same as he competes every single day. He trains like he's scrappy. He does his passes this way, does his back takes this way. Yep. And it's like that every single time. So when we are not in camp and we're taking the time to get better at jiu-jitsu, we're pulling guard, we're doing this, trying to learn new things, and then the competition kind of like feeling kind of goes away, or like maybe not feeling, but just like deep subconscious decisions. Yep. And that can kind of fade away, even if you're like you know a month or two out, and you're like, all right, it's time to get ready to do like scrap again. Sometimes it's hard to like pick that back up and continue competing with that little just different decision making, really. Yeah. So it's kind of frustrating.
It is. It's. I'm glad you bring that up because it's like it's a thing that I wouldn't say struggle with. It's not a struggle. Yeah. But it's more of like a what do I want kind of thing. Because it's like I think my style of wrestling could beat anyone in the world. Yeah. But I think like with Dorian, for example, he is a very wrestling style type of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. If it's like 90% wrestling, 10% jiu-jitsu, right? Which seems to be a good formula to beat a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Because he beats a lot of people, a lot of high-level people. And it's like, sometimes I have this dilemma where I'm like, okay, if I try and practice more jiu-jitsu, being more jiu-jitsu-y, it's less of me doing the game that I'm good at. Yeah. Right? So I'm like, should I be sticking with the less jiu-jitsu and what I'm good at, which would be just winning? Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I also want to be a jiu-jitsu instructor one day. I want to be able to teach jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So I don't want to be the guy that's teaching jiu-jitsu and be like, well, all you know is wrestling. Yeah. And all you beat people with is wrestling. Like, I want to be able to, I'm just kind of selfish in a way where I'm like, I want to be able just to do it all. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
I don't think that's selfish. I think that's just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I'm like, but it's hard because I'm like, okay, I need to learn leg locks if I ever want to teach them one day. Yeah. So I'm sitting back, pulling leg locks in practice. And it's like, well, when it comes to your competition style,
you're not going to do that.
I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And so that's taking time away from the stuff of training the stuff that I am going to do. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's tough.
So it's hard. Yeah. It's a good conversation to have, and you have to come to a decision pretty quickly on how you're going to train. So.
Yes, yeah. It's I mean, I guess if you're in it for the long game, you kind of have to. At some point, you're gonna need jiu-jitsu to be able to defeat like high level guys. At certain levels, you can get away with a lot of things, but eventually, you're gonna begin to hit a wall. You know, if you're just wrestling,
yeah,
you know, there's going to be people that are like, okay, well, I'm good at wrestling and I have a little bit of jiu-jitsu. And then it's like, oh, well, this is going to be tough for me.
It can be tough. Yeah.
So finding that middle ground that no one knows what the middle ground is. So it's tough.
Yeah. Cause I used to, I love the discussion with jiu-jitsu as far as like people making fun of wrestling or people making fun of like people who are being spazzy or people who are like spamming stuff. And it's like, I have a philosophy where it's like, if it upsets people to an extent, it must work.
Yeah.
Like it either upsets people because you're injuring people with that style. That's one thing. But if that's not the case, then I feel like the other case is because it works.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating to get beat by something that's not really like a real thing.
Traditional.
Exactly. Because when I first started getting to jiu-jitsu, I had a lot of success with passing guard. When I first got the B team, I wouldn't say success, but it wasn't bad of like just spamming passes or keeping a pace on top.
Yeah.
That's like just go and go and go and go coming from wrestling. It was like, whether I'm getting something or not, I should just always be moving.
Exactly.
And I've kind of felt myself recently. My guard passing has gotten a lot better, but sometimes I'll notice myself like slowing down and trying to get the technique right, which helps. But then sometimes I'm like, I feel like I am kind of missing that just go.
Yeah.
If you start going and spamming shit, people kind of don't know how to react.
Yeah.
But if you're going slow with one move, at the high level, people typically know the defense to that move. So they can kind of react pretty normally and quickly and defend it. So it's like a pairing of good technique with also just keeping that pressure, you know?
Yeah, that's why I try to like mix up my rounds between like training with, like I could train with anyone and go slow. And then I'll be like, okay, I have to do a round with like, say like you or like Ethan or Nick Mattia.
Yeah.
It's like, I need like one of those rounds every now and
That is
again.
movement.
Just to like constant movement. Never really want to concede anything. Just go. Like technique isn't like, we're not really focusing on technique. We're trying to fucking kill each other, really.
Yeah.
Like, oh, people will, it's so frustrating. People will watch my rounds with like Ethan, for example, and be like, oh, these guys are spazzes. These guys don't know what they're doing. They're just spinning. But like Ethan and I know exactly what is happening the entire time. Like we know all our little battles. Specifically Ethan and I, we have the same few sequences that we go over and over again, and we know exactly what's happening, and we know the battles that we're having. But the people that are watching just see us spinning, and they're like, oh, these guys are spazzes. They're gonna hurt someone.
Yeah,
you're wrong. I'm good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. It's so true, because I feel like people forget how barbaric combat sports are. So like fighting, the concept of fighting, whether it be with just submissions, punches, kicks, wrestling, whatever it may be, it's still contact sport fighting.
Yeah.
People forget that like that's not always supposed to look pretty or flashy.
Yeah.
It's a fight.
Like kill the guy.
Yeah, like, oh, like that wasn't good technique, or well, it's like, well, one, it was, and two, sometimes fights are going to get chippy, whether it's an MMA fight all the way down to like a jiu-jitsu match. And so it's like, because of that, people forget like core attributes, right? Like a fight isn't just technique versus technique. It's who's stronger, who's faster, who has more cardio. You know what I mean? Like I could spam the same passing, and they're like, why you keep spamming a knee slice? Like it doesn't work, blah, blah. It's like, maybe it doesn't work now.
It'll work when he's tired.
But when he's tired, it's going to work.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the guy tired.
Yeah.
Like people forget at that high level, man, like cardio and muscle fatigueness starts to play way more in a factor of someone's style. So it's like, try a different move, or you should do this, you do this. Like I'm playing the waiting game.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired. I'm banking on that he'll get tired before I do.
Yeah.
Come that last 2 minutes of match, now it's time for me to
put a
spank
whooping
him.
on.
Yeah, put it on him.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's good. To circle back on the traveling stuff we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the like snacks I travel with.
You travel with?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah. Cause for a few reasons, it's like small. It's like it's sweet, but it's like pretty much just fruit, I believe. There's no like crazy additives, or not a lot of additives at least.
60 grams of sugar on the back of it.
But I mean, like when you're traveling all day, you're not gonna get many meals in. You need a little bit of sugar in you. This is one of them. It's just like some fruit rolls. Another thing you get from Central Market, it's probably crazy. Yeah.
You're a Central Market guy now, huh?
There's some good stuff from Central Market. Bro, those cookies.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah, they are like collectible cards, like I think. But I just go for the
Pokemon cards. Giraffe.
But yeah, I just go for the fruit rolls.
Wow.
This is some good stuff here. This on top of the banana bites and that type of stuff, like the dried bananas. That's what I usually travel with.
The dried bananas, kind of.
Yeah, same vibe. I travel with this because like it's easier to travel with this because you can like toss it in the bag and not worry about it like getting smushed or whatever.
Good cut and wait food.
It is light, but like, get that little sweet tooth craving out, you know. Yeah, simple, nothing too crazy.
Now you know, guys. Jay travels with his little gummies.
I do.
Everywhere he goes. His little favorite gummies. All right. Are you ready to get into the heavy stuff? What I mean by heavy, I mean a story I have of when I saw an alien.
Let's hear it.
I'm being dead serious.
Really?
Yeah. I've never told you. Have I never told you this?
I don't think so.
I just thought today. I was like, I was going to talk about the time I almost got kidnapped. I know you are not believing me right now, but I'm telling you, everything I'm saying is true.
It's true. I was there.
It was there. But I was like, I don't think. But I told you the kidnapping story at the fireplace. So I was like, I might just tell the alien one because he hasn't heard that one before. So yes, I've seen an alien before.
When, where?
When and where? It was a long time ago when JDawg was just a pup. I was
Just a pup.
just lost. I was driving to a jail to see somebody, and it was this long road, and on each side was like
You're driving to jail.
yes.
There's a hell of a story.
The dog pound. I was a naughty dog. And so it was like this tall keep a straight face while telling this story because I know y'all don't believe me. I know he just like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? He's really trying to get this 10K views, isn't he?
JDawg saw an alien.
Yeah, an alien. But I'm being dead ass. Hand on the Bible.
I want a Bible.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you one. I'll get you one.
I appreciate it.
Down the long road, there's tall grass on each side, right? I'm literally have my head like just lean up against the window, just like staring, like watching the grass just go by.
Oh, you're not driving, but
oh hell no, I was young.
Okay,
I was probably like 7 years old, probably.
Okay.
And I was like looking out the window, and bro, it was like nothing in sight at all, no buildings, nothing. And I see this thing appear in the sky. I still remember exactly what it looked like. I could even see the color of it because like. I know it's going to sound stupid, but it literally looked like a traditional UFO. It had lights that was going in a circle around it, and the lights were bright enough where I could see like the color of whatever this was, and it was like a bronze color. It was bronze, and the lights were like a light green tint, and I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And I was like, it must have been a drone or an airplane.
Yeah. But
what made me believe it was an alien
it was the cow floating.
was
up
the
from under
freaking cow I saw coming out of the grass. That's when I knew. But it was the movement. It was the movement of this thing.
How was it moving?
So it was moving like in a straight line. So I was like, that's an airplane. But still, as a kid, I'm just like, that's got to be an alien, ha ha.
Yeah.
But then when I saw it move, so like it was going like this, and then it went back this way. So it was like forward, back, forward, and then it like went up higher, like in a direction, and then just like disappeared after
Really?
like going away for about 10 seconds.
Interesting.
It's completely invisible. Didn't see the lights anymore, nothing. And I was just like a little kid, kind of like when I almost got kidnapped. Didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't be like, Mom, alien.
Really?
I'm just like,
I'm going to keep that to myself.
yeah, I'm just like, I'm going to keep that to myself. Like, that was weird. And like a few days later, not a few days, a few years later, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I saw an alien. She's like, you can shut up. But ever since that day, dude, I'm like, that was definitely an alien.
Yeah.
Like just I don't know if it was, what is it? Operation Bluebeam. You ever heard of that?
No.
Operation Bluebeam?
No. What is this?
Oh boy, we're going to turn into a conspiracy
boy.
podcast here. It's like the Operation Bluebeam is supposed to be a conspiracy of like government slowly kind of brainwashing the people's minds into like believing in aliens and stuff, and they're gonna fake an alien invasion to like gain control of people and stuff.
Interesting.
It's like a real thing. It's like called Operation Bluebeam.
Bluebeam.
Anyway, so I saw an alien.
Maybe because you mentioned it twice, maybe you should tell the dogs about the pup almost getting stolen.
The pup almost got stolen. I was a cute little pup when I was little. I can understand why
Apparently.
this person might have wanted me. But yeah, I've almost got kidnapped twice. I'll tell you both stories.
You didn't grow up in like a necessarily good area.
It wasn't the best area.
Okay.
Richmond at one point was ranked number 3 or number 1 murder capital of the country.
Yeah. I would consider that not good.
Yeah, not good. Now, I was about 10 minutes from Richmond, so it's kind of dangerous. So we'll start with the least kind of crazy one, then we'll kind of go. We'll crank it up a notch. So little JDawg was walking around the grocery store with his mom, and I remember specifically I was by the banana aisle, and I'm holding my mom's hand, and my other hand just dangling, just there. When I used to have nice, beautiful arms with no injuries to them, they were just there. And I feel someone grab my wrist and start like pulling my arm up. So my arm like comes up, and then I start feeling them like pulling me away. And I was like, what the fuck? So I'm literally like become like a tug of war battle. Like there was this person
Yeah.
And I remember specifically what the person looked like. I turned. He was wearing a green shirt, blue jeans, a red hat, and had white paint splotches like on his clothes, and he was Hispanic. And so I look at him, it's like I don't know you. And I look at my mom, and he keeps pulling me, and I was like, Mom. It's like, Mom. And then the third time I was like, Mom. And like, he let go and like turned his back and started walking away.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? And like just went back to like grab the bananas. And I was like, nothing. Like I was kind of felt like I was in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to say. So once again, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I'll just whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Just brush it off.
Yeah, I just brushed it off. The dogs do. We just brushed it off. And so that was that time. I believe that was a kidnapping attempt. And then the second time, I was in my neighborhood, and there was this like place in my neighborhood called the Rueton Club. It was like just a little place where they maybe have like neighborhood parties and community parties kind of thing. And it's funny I say that because if I'm not mistaken, recently, within the past 2 years, at that little clubhouse, I think I told you this, but I think they might have been like busted for like sex trafficking.
Really?
Out of like, you could rent this building at this club area. You could rent a building.
Yeah. And
apparently there's like people renting it, and it was like maybe sex trafficking through there.
Wow.
My parents talked to me about it. So anyway,
wow.
My brother goes to the Rueton Club, and I asked my mom, like, can I go with them? And my brother didn't want to wait for me, so he just leaves me with his girlfriend, goes to the Rueton Club. They're riding their bikes. And I was like, eventually I decided, well, I'm just going to go catch up with them. So I'll like meet them at the Rueton Club. And so I get on my rollerblades. I was a mean rollerblader back in the day. And so I'm going on my rollerblades, and probably a little bit more than halfway to the Rueton Club, I see this black Cadillac pulling behind me. Blacked out windows, blacked out car, pulling behind me because I'm rollerblading right in the middle of the road. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to move over the side and let this car go around me. And I move to the side, and this car pulls in behind me. Like, he moves to the right side of the road behind me and starts slowing down. I'm like, bro, like, go around.
Yeah.
I And so I was like, I'm going to pull into this random house in my neighborhood with my rollerblades. Just nice little turn with my rollerblades. Into a house where I knew the people. I knew who lived there.
Yeah.
And so pretend like that's where I lived. And that's what the elementary school teachers tell you to do. So I was like, we can try this out. Didn't work. I pull in there. Dude pulls in right behind me. I was like, what the hell? Right when he pulled in behind me and he opens the door, see this big black guy get out. Just had a white t-shirt on, jeans. They're a normal guy, just huge. He gets out and he's like, hey. And I just start sprinting across the grass with my rollerblades, which, by the way, is really hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, my ankles are breaking. I'm just like,
Bambi.
like, just running like Bambi. Literally, that's what I look like. At the time, I start screaming for my brother. So I screaming his name. And lucky enough, he comes around the corner. I think they're already on their way back, and they heard me come around the corner. The guy gets back in his car, pulls out, leaves. And he's like, what? And I was like, I think this dude's like trying to get me.
Yeah.
And he believed me because he saw the car going away, because he saw it pull out of the driveway and stuff. Wow. And I was like, bro, people just want the dog. People want me. They want the
commodity.
Yeah, dude, it's what it is.
Interesting.
But yeah, so the JDawg has almost been kidnapped twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy to think.
It's pretty crazy, right?
Man.
Yeah, that was the last incident I had until Jay kidnapped my heart.
You talking about standing by the...
Hold on, listen. Oh, I was about to put the mic up to my knee.
See, there's your knee.
You hear it pop?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
That's not healthy.
Yeah, I know.
That's not healthy. Both, since Craig... Did I tell you Craig commoored me from the Yoko position?
Oh, when you said your elbow popped.
Yeah.
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 How's that feeling?
It feels terrible. But my ankle pops on command. Not healthy.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, this is just like maybe not the best sport for longevity. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
But you were talking about the first time you almost got kidnapped. You were talking about you holding your mom's hand while looking at the bananas, right? Mm-hmm. That reminded me of a time. I didn't grow up in a bad area, so I wasn't getting kidnapped.
Jay was in the streets, baby.
But there was one time we took like a photo shoot, and my mom is like checking out, and it's core memory. It's drilled into my mind now. We're at some like theme park, took some photos, and my mom's checking out, and she's taking forever to check out, and I tell my mom, I was like, Mom, I have to use the bathroom. and she's like, yeah, give me 1 sec. And I think I only asked her once, and then I just immediately started pissing myself.
Just drop a log right there on the ground.
Just standing there holding my mom's hand, pissing.
Just pissing. That's a dog.
That piss on the leg.
Just piss on the leg.
And
so that's where our logo came from, huh? He was thinking of some logo. You're like, yes.
How did that happen?
How did what happen?
We were talking about 2v2s, and then it was either me or you. We're talking shit back and forth to the people, and I think it was me that said we're gonna piss on their leg.
I think it was you.
I wonder how I came up with that.
But I wonder how you come up with a lot of stuff.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
It worked though. It
works. It works. It strikes fear into thy enemy.
Yes, it does. Thy enemy.
Yes. Big words. Thy. We talked about snack time. We did not talk about
movie. I was just about to say
movies.
something, guys. Y'all want to hear something freaking nuts? I sent this dude a Cars meme. I mean Cars. I mean Lightning McQueen. And this dude said, "I've never seen it." That hurt my heart.
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait, hold on. You never seen Cars, the movie with Lightning McQueen?"
Yeah.
Did you have a childhood, Jay?
I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't watching Cars though.
But you're fascinated with cars now.
Did
you watch any like kids movies coming up, like Toy Story, like those type of movies?
I wasn't much of a Disney kid.
Wow.
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
What movies did they have?
They didn't really have movies.
Yeah, they suck.
They had
Get on Disney now.
They had like TV shows and stuff.
Yeah, I was a Nickelodeon kid. Like what is SpongeBob was on Nickelodeon and stuff like that.
Adventure Time. What else?
I was Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. I didn't watch a lot of Disney shows.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Did you watch Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
That shit made me uncomfortable.
That seems like your type of style.
That shit made me uncomfortable.
Show.
As a kid, it made me uncomfortable.
It really did. Like that was like my horror movie when I was a child, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, turn this off.
Yeah. It was just very
unsettling.
Yes.
It was.
That's a very good word for that show.
Mm-hmm.
If you have ever seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, you will understand.
You'd understand.
Yeah, you.
But in the comments right now, I know you agree with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should be more persistent on letting the people know to comment like a specific.
Yeah, dude. Comment
something.
Comment anything, as long as it's making us look good.
Yeah, comment. I guess comment a movie maybe.
Comment a movie. I actually had like a decent movie to recommend today, but I'm gonna go with Cars today.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Cars. Write it down. I know it's a kids movie, but I mean, I just got finished watching Wall-E like 3 months ago. Another Disney movie. I'm sure Jay hasn't seen that one either.
I think I have. That's the robot one.
The robot.
I have.
Okay, that's good. That gives me hope. Cars is it's a kid show, but like it's honestly a good message.
Okay, Cars is in the book. Cars is in the book.
You're gonna watch it?
Maybe. There's definitely some other ones I want to watch before I watch Cars. Book of Eli.
I understand. If you can play Minecraft, you can watch Cars.
That's fair. Right. I had someone come up to me. They're like, Jay, why are you playing Minecraft?
Really?
Isn't it just building blocks? And you build like a house. And
they sound that disappointed. Like there was a voice that like Jay.
It was Sal. So yeah. I was like, you wouldn't understand.
You don't understand.
No, but I told him, I was like, dude, there's more stuff.
Battling in there.
Yeah. War.
We slayed a dragon.
We did slay a dragon.
Jeez. Should I say anything else?
Is there more to say? Should we go into dip our toesies into this book a little bit?
Yes. I have a little lesson I was thinking about today that I'd like to share, but
I'd like to hear it.
Like to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Would y'all like to hear it? Okay. All right. I'll say it. But Jay recently asked me to go. He said we should go on a run, right?
Okay. This might take a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll save the book for the next episode.
If you have something specifically.
No.
Okay.
This is gonna be good.
He was like, "Let's go on a run soon," because Jay and I we've gone on a few runs together. Jay's fast. It's very fast. He's got a very long stride. It's hard to keep up with him.
Got the long legs.
That long stride, dude. Just.
Yep.
I'm in the back, just like. We've gone on a few runs just for the hell of it, for the psyche, right? And so I started thinking recently. I'm honestly always thinking, dude. I'm like always just trying to. I cannot stop thinking. It's hard for me to fall asleep because a second later I'm just like.
Yeah.
Like, what do I?
Money.
Yeah, it's money, or how can I be better? Just
dog food.
It's dumb sometimes, but I was like, yeah, why are we going to go on a run? And then I came to the conclusion. I was like, obviously we're trying to train ourselves to be comfortable when uncomfortable, right? It's there was one time, I think when Jay and I first started running together, I asked you to go on a run with me, and you were busy that day, and then you asked me, I ended up asking you again some other day, and then we just started going on runs after that. Because one day I decided to run 10 miles from my apartment down to downtown. Horrible idea for the knees. Horrible idea. I got it done. That was going to be for certain. But my knees hurt for like 3 days straight.
Yeah.
I'll never run 10 miles again, but I'm glad I did it still.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're definitely doing it just to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And I was like, well, what exactly is that? And why would you want to do that? You know? I think anytime anyone does, I think people should have meaningful suffering. So like getting drunk, waking up the next morning, having a headache, whatever, being hungover, that's suffering, but it's not meaningful suffering. right? I think having meaningful suffering, meaning you're suffering for a purpose or you're suffering to get better, that is like a necessity in life.
Yeah.
Like you have to have meaningful suffering.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what learning to be comfortable when uncomfortable is.
Yeah.
It's purposefully suffering, but with meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Right? Like when people take ice baths, some people believe the ice bath don't work. Some people are like, people are just doing that for no reason.
Yeah.
At bare minimum, it's teaching you to, when you're uncomfortable, to train yourself to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Because
We did
life
ice bath today.
is uncomfortable. Like you better be able to deal with
Yeah.
that stuff.
Half of the like I agree so much with pretty much everything you're saying, but like specifically the ice bath, like people are like, oh well, the benefits are in there's this study that shows the benefits are like not that good, and like some people say the ice bath is even unhealthy for you. And I was like, yeah, but it's healthy for your mind.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think so.
Forces you, or it doesn't force you. You force yourself to do something that's difficult. It's not necessarily hurting you, right? But there could be potential benefits. But even if there aren't any like physical benefits up here.
It's up here.
It's up here.
Yeah, and I was also thinking, like, when people, it helps me. I train myself to be comfortable being uncomfortable because it also helps me maintain a positive attitude whenever in a shitty situation.
Absolutely.
Like, if you just train yourself to every time you're in a bad situation, you're uncomfortable, and you constantly do that, anytime you're in an uncomfortable situation, everyone's panicking, everyone's complaining, and you're just like,
yep.
It is what it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think doing things like that, going on runs, and people are like, how does runs help your jiu-jitsu? Well,
It's bad for your knees.
it's bad for your knees. Yeah, that's why I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
But I'll do it every so often just so I've kind of trained myself of like, okay, whenever something happens to you that you don't want to happen,
Yeah.
you don't bitch about it.
Yeah.
That's what it's teaching me to do, right? Like, I don't want to go on a run, but we're going to go on a run.
Yeah.
Because it teaches me to be like, listen, dude, if you can willingly accept bad things that you're doing to yourself willingly, then when things happen on accident that's out of your control, it's just like, well, I've been here before. I've done something I'm not really comfortable with.
I've been through worse.
Exactly. That's where I think the sport of wrestling really helped me, was it just sucked.
Yeah.
It just sucked, dude. It was so many years of just not liking it.
Yep.
To where now anything that happens, I'm like, it can't be that bad. Yeah.
Been through worse.
It can't be that bad,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. And even I'm concerned with like wrestling nowadays because a lot of the coaches are even just like parents that like watch the stuff. Like everyone nowadays is a little bit more soft. They don't want their,
it's the culture, I think.
yeah, they don't want their kids going through like just, I guess, pain. But it's like you need to suffer a little bit to fucking develop yourself. You have to. You know? You have to, yeah.
I was having this conversation with, who was it? I think it was like me, JB, and someone else were talking about like if our kid's going to wrestle or not. Mm-hmm. And it was me, JB, and Nick Mattia. Mm-hmm. We're like, yeah, like there's a kid going to wrestle, and you know if they don't want to, I'm not going to force them, kind of thing. Like I'll let them choose what they want to do. And then I got to thinking, I was like,
I think my kid has to wrestle.
He has to wrestle.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I know someone's going to be like, well, what if he doesn't like it?
Yeah.
That's the key. I'm not making him wrestle for it to be something he likes.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because it's something he needs.
Yeah. I don't care if he's good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Or good at wrestling.
Exactly.
I want him to like.
He's going to do it. And people are like, oh, if he doesn't love it. I don't want him to do it to love it.
Yeah.
If he does love it, cool.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then maybe he's doing another sport he does love.
Yeah.
But he will do this for at least a decent amount of time because he needs it. And like, well, why does he need it? Why do you need wrestling specifically? Maybe it doesn't have to be wrestling specifically, but wrestling is one of the best options for meaningful suffering.
Yeah, meaningful suffering.
It's meaningful suffering, right? It's like you're cutting weight, you're getting your ass whooped in practice, but it's all for some sort of purpose. It's to win a state title, it's to make weight, it's to be there for your team.
Yeah.
It's meaningful suffering, and wrestling forces you to do that.
Yeah.
So, little Johnny, you're wrestling.
You're gonna be wrestling, boy. Yeah, I think it's really important. And it, I think, like you said, like, I would definitely have them in wrestling from young, because kids are gonna want to do shit anyways. Like, and they're not really being too mindful of like the sports they want to do. Maybe
no kid wants to go to school.
Exactly.
We still make him go to school.
Exactly.
So what's the difference between making him wrestle?
Yeah. So it's like maybe when he's older and he wants to do fucking baseball, sure, he can be like homo, sure. But but if when he's young, I definitely want wrestling, experiencing some sort of just like a coach screaming in your face, a coach like telling you push the push up you did wasn't good enough. Now you got to do sprints. That type of shit. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. I think that is. I think that's good.
I whenever I think of that same kind of concept, I'm like, bro. When people are like, "That's too tough for kids," I'm like, "Do you know what kids used to do back in like Sparta, the Spartans, dude? When you're 14 years old, dude, it's like, all right, time to go to war.
Yeah,
like you're gonna go stab a man with a spear in his neck or get a spear driven in your neck, and we're gonna make sure it's the other guy by training. Yeah. Like you didn't have an option.
Yeah.
So now, you get slammed on a padded mat, and it's like, oh god, isn't that so bad for him? No, he's fine.
He'll live.
Yeah, he'll live. Exactly. He'll live.
He'll live like this.
He'll live like this. Exactly. Dad, fuck you.
I told you I didn't want to wrestle.
Oh, my damn it.
Whenever I bring up going for a run to you, I try to do it like the day of or the day after. Spontaneous, yeah. Just to leave some sort of unprepared and you have to be ready for that.
I like that. Yeah. It's like, we gotta run now. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, and even with me and Nick went to Kuya.
You want to go right now?
I'll go right now. Listen, podcast is over.
It's over. We're going to go on a run.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I'm gonna hold it some, okay?
You have to put it all the way in.
Okay. Just breathe out if...
Mom, can you just do it?
I know I shouldn't curse in front of my mom, but cauliflower ear sucks. I use Caulibuds ear magnets. I really wish I would have had these magnets, but my ears were messed up. These keep my cauliflower ear at bay. They're the original and best quality cauliflower ear magnets on the market. Step 1, drain your ear. Step 2, pick your buds. Step 3, put them on your ear. Make the right decision. Invest in these Caulibuds so your ears don't look like chicken nuggets like mine. Check them out on Amazon or Caulibuds.com. Add ears. Train with your buds.
Juce Organic's powders are certified USDA organic, 100% vegan, non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, and soy-free.
We have a wide range of products that are here to support your health needs. Our products are designed to boost energy, enhance endurance, and aid in muscle recovery. Packed with organic superfoods, Juice helps fuel your body with intense training and quick recovery.
Juice Sport Greens is an all-in-one greens supplement with 7 essential organic components, consisting of greens, antioxidants, protein, probiotics, mushrooms, and fiber to help promote a strong and healthy body. And don't forget to use code DAWG25 to get 25% off all of their products.
Check out Petwear Code today for a personalized touch that your furry friend will love. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on this. Happy tails, everyone.
Use code DAWG20 for 20% off.
Nick and I went to Kuya today. We did some ice bath sauna stuff, and I did a minute and a half in the ice bath, and I was like, all right, that's it. Nick goes in after me, and this guy goes in for like 3 minutes. And I was like, this fucking guy. He said he was going to do a minute and a half, and he did 3 minutes. This fucking guy. We go back into the fucking sauna. We come back for another round of ice bath. I think I did maybe another minute and a half, and then he did like 2 minutes or something. And I was like, this guy, he just has to one-up me.
Yeah.
Just has to one-up me. And he was like in there telling him, he was like, he wasn't even telling himself. I know he was telling himself when he was quiet. But then he started, at the end of it, he was like, it's warm in here. It's warm in here. It's
warm.
comfortable.
Yeah.
And the guy in the ice bath next to him was talking to us. He was like, "Oh well, if it's getting warm, you can start moving around." And I was like, "No, he's being delusional. Like he's lying. He's lying to us right now." Around. Yeah, that's actually a thing though. You have to like move around to make it colder.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I just did an ice bath last week in my pool.
Oh yeah,
because the pool's freezing.
It's fucking terrible. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not.
Have you ever been to Kuya and done it there?
Never been to Kuya, but I've been, when I wrestled at Virginia Tech, they had ice bath rooms that we could go into. And so I've been in like 45 degree water.
That's rough.
It's not fun. I've been willingly. Oh, finish your thought and have a little story.
I think that's pretty much all. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I do with like ice baths. But there's one time in December, I went on a hike. If you ever come back home with me to meet my parents and stuff, you know. I guess not my home, but Christiansburg, where I wrestled, which is where my girlfriend lives. There's a hike there called the Cascades. Beautiful hike. Beautiful. Sounds familiar. People travel across the country to do this hike.
Yeah.
Blacksburg or Christiansburg and Blacksburg has like probably 3 of my most favorite hikes all in the same area. But at the end of this hike, it's only a 2-mile hike, 4 miles there and back. It's a massive waterfall, like ones we would see in the memes on Instagram.
Yeah,
like beautiful. And one December, I went there while it was cold outside, and the waterfall had frozen over.
Oh,
so it's frozen, and like the whole waterfall isn't frozen. It's not like frozen water, but it's like ice everywhere.
Yeah,
a little bit of water still coming down, and everyone's dressed like this. I'm in my swimming trunks. Because I'm like, I'm getting in that water. Like anytime I do that hike, I make it meaningful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna go there and just be like,
oh, this is cool, and then
I'm just go home. Like, no, like I'm gonna be grateful for this. I'm gonna get in the water. I'm gonna do whatever. So I get there. Everyone's dressed like this, and this is a good message, guys. Never be afraid to do anything because of what other people might think. Because a lot of the times the thing you're thinking is probably what someone else is thinking as well. So don't be embarrassed, because people probably wish there were more people who would do things that they're embarrassed to do so they could also do it. Because I get there, everyone's dressed like this. I'm in my swimming trunks. I start taking off my clothes. And my girlfriend's like, she already knew I was going to get in the water, but she was like, oh, you're actually getting in? I was like, yeah, like I said, I'm getting in. Boom, I get in the water. I brought a Frisbee. We start throwing Frisbee, and everyone's just like, what's this dude doing?
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes, everyone there had taken off their clothes down to their underwear or like their pants, whatever they were wearing, and jumped in the water.
Sick.
And everyone's in the water.
That's
and
good.
I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
And the water was freezing, but it was like, they just needed someone to do it and be like, oh, I was wanting to do it, but now I can do it.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be the first person.
Yeah.
But anyways, I jumped in the water. It was freezing.
It's terrible,
cold.
right?
God,
Yeah.
it's freezing. Cause it's fresh water. Blacksburg is mountains. So it's like fresh water right off the mountains. And on top of that, it was like 25 degrees outside. So I didn't stay in the water very long at all. I got in there, my body was like numb within a minute. So I got out, warmed myself up, jumped back in, got out, and then left. But it was still cool. It was cool.
Yeah. That's good. On the spot.
Yeah, on the spot. I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
We're jumping.
It's good to just fucking wake up one day and say, you know, I'm gonna do a little extra work out there. I'm gonna go for a run today. Test my psyche.
Test my psyche.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're training the mind.
Yeah.
I think I told you this before, but one of my favorite coaches I had at Virginia Tech, he Frank Molinaro, I think he was a 2-time finalist out of Penn State, monster, a really good coach. He preached the 3 biggest things he preached while I was at Virginia Tech for the time I was there. As I was only there for like 2 years, maybe max, but he was only there for a year. He left after a year. But the 3 things he preached the most was, he was very religious, so he preached God. And then he preached being comfortable, being uncomfortable. He really preached just taking cold showers in the morning. And then he preached training yourself to always be in the present. Like,
really?
Yes, that was a big thing he pushed, was you got to be in the present, guys. Like, be in the present, be in the present. Like, before a match, if you're warming up for a match, don't be thinking about the match, be thinking about warming up.
Yeah.
If you're in a match, don't be thinking about your warm up prior, be thinking about your match after. Think about the match. If you're on a podcast, don't be thinking about what you're going to say next podcast. Think about what you're saying now. Like, always be in the present. And I really liked the things he taught. He was such a good coach off the mat as well. not sure where I was taking this. Oh, comfortable being uncomfortable. He told us he did this thing where he'd put a rock in his wrestling shoe and he'd wrestle with a rock in his shoe. Everyone's like, that's stupid. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And it was just something to him that he would do to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He'd wrestle with a rock in his shoe and his toe would hurt at the end of the day, but he was like, it just helped him up here to be like, one, I'm training myself to be comfortable when uncomfortable. So maybe in a match, I stub my toe. You know what I mean?
I've had rocks in my shoe.
I've had rocks in my shoe.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the other guys like, oh, my toe.
Yeah,
like,
my toe.
fuck your toe.
Yeah.
Like, so I thought that was really, really good. I was like, I kind of like that.
Interesting, yeah. Why do you think so many high-level guys, I feel like especially in wrestling at the collegiate level, are like religious, like very religious? Why do you think that is? Because I feel like most of the Penn State guys are like very religious to the point where they don't even they don't curse.
Yeah. Curse, very, very religious people.
Like a lot of the successful guys, I feel like are like, they just have something to like believe in, I guess, or make some sort of guidance. I don't know.
Yeah, because I guess the concept would be, this is the way I'd see it, is that meme I sent you today that I saw, I thought was really cool. Mike Tyson was studying the book of all the conquerors and the great conquerors of all time, and he said like one of the most fascinating things he learned from the book was that all the greatest conquerors of all time, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, like all those people, at the end of their life, they asked God for forgiveness. And Mike Tyson is like, I thought that was so interesting. All of them, at the end of all their books, were talking about asking God for forgiveness. So it also, outside of sports, it's like even some of the greatest just human beings of all time seem to be somewhat religious.
Yeah.
And I would say it's because I've seen some videos talking about this, and I think there's some sort of truth to it, where it's like, it's hard to swallow this pill, but it's kind of true that it's hard to how do I say this? You're not as important as you think. In the grand scheme of like life or the world, right? Like you're not as important as you think. And like you're over here thinking, oh, this whole life must be about me because I'm struggling with cutting weight.
Yeah.
Meantime, there's a 3-year-old with no arms, no legs.
Yeah.
They're probably thinking life's more about them. You know what I mean? So if you do things just for yourself, meaning you're in the sport just for yourself, you're in your career just for yourself, your purpose is pretty small because you're not that important, right? So if everything you're doing is for yourself isn't that big of a deal to the grand scheme of life. But if everything you're doing is for a God, that's a pretty big purpose. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty big reason to do things.
Interesting.
I think that mentality, it gives people more drive.
Yeah.
To feel like their purpose or what they're doing is more meaningful. Because
for something better.
Yeah, the idea of God is bigger than the idea of just one person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And on top of that, I think it just makes you a good person. So
yeah.
That's how I would see it. That's how I like to see it sometimes. Whenever I'm struggling with stuff, whenever I'm not performing as well as I should be, it's like I'm doing this not for myself but for someone else. Yeah. So I feel more obligated to do better.
Interesting.
That's the way I describe it.
I don't think I have a response to that.
Yeah, it's hard to think about. I mean, I'm only able to give an answer because it's stuff I think about every day. But that's just how I feel. I'm sure some people out there who maybe believe in God have a different answer.
Yeah.
But that's the way I would feel. I feel like my life is more meaningful when I'm doing something for something else that's bigger than me.
Yeah. Circling back to you're talking about, I believe it was your coach, the rock, shoe in the rock, rocking the shoe.
Rocking the shoe, shoe in the rock.
That conversation kind of would lead well into 32. So I think maybe we should have 32 as the next podcast.
Yes. Yes.
And maybe we'll just leave it at that.
32.
32, yeah.
You probably wonder what that means.
Yeah.
Keep guessing. Keep guessing. Keep guessing.
Yeah, we're about an hour in.
All right. Check it. Fucking hot.
All right. Well, thank you guys for...
That was a deep way to end it.
Deep, yes. Kind of a cliffhanger.
A little cliffhanger, yeah.
Cliffhanger, yeah. Well, they'll just have to tune into the next one to find out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Doghouse. with your host, J-Rod, and
JDawg.
let's go.
Keep watching, guys.
Yeah, keep watching. Make sure you guys support the companies that support the Dog House. Make sure you guys check out Juce Organics, Caulibuds, JitzBitz, and Petwear Co. Petwear Co. I cannot wait to get the dog collar.
Yeah, I want the dog collar so bad.
I know.
I text Brady. He's like, they're coming. I'm waiting for the patches. And
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting antsy.
Get antsy, right? I want to film just like, even if it's just for the ad, I want to film like Leo and the dog collar.
So sick.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.